Binge drinking in Britain is on the increase. A recent government report describes binge drinking as the consumption of excessive amounts of alcohol within a limited time period. In the UK, the Department of Health has introduced the unit measurement of alcohol and guidelines about how many units men and women can safely drink. Nearly 1 in 4 adults in the UK drinks more than the recommended daily amount of alcohol.
I think we need to recognise that drinking is part of our culture, and most people drink without having binge drinking. They drink reasonably, they drink moderately, and they drink with food, and they don't cause any difficulties. But there is unfortunately a subculture of a few people who spend quite a lot of money and take on a role of drinking excessively and very much too much, and that causes very serious consequences.
According to the Institute of Alcohol Studies, young people in the UK are the third worst binge drinkers in the EU. The Joseph Rowntree Foundation found that over 50% of 15 to 16-year-olds have participated in binge drinking, and another report showed that 44% of 18 to 24-year-olds are regular binge drinkers.
I'm really shocked that England is actually the third, and they should be the first in the EU for binge drinking, because the way we are as a country and a society when it comes to binge drinking is disgusting. And to be third, I'm really shocked.
It's estimated that alcohol features in 20 to 30% of accidents in the UK, with 76,000 facial injuries occurring in the UK each year due to drunken violence. 50% of street crime occurs when those involved were under the influence of alcohol.
Probably the worst case of violence I've ever seen by binge drinking would be about 30 people on the dance floor going at it with bottles and broken glass and a lot of injuries.
Alcohol-related accidents and illnesses land around 150,000 people in hospital each year. It's estimated that alcohol features in 20 to 30% of accidents in the UK, with 76,000 facial injuries occurring in the UK each year due to drunken violence. Figures show that binge drinking is on the rise, as recent NHS figures have shown that alcohol-related incidents have risen by 52% over the last decade, with 1 in 10 being admitted to hospital being under the legal drinking age.
A couple of years ago I did go to my friend's house. Quite a few people were going. I think it was for his birthday. I had a lot to drink due to cheap alcohol. Passed out and occasionally woke up so I could throw up. And while I was passed out, my friends thought it would be funny if they picked me up while I was on the settee, throw me outside and bring the settee back in. Woke up the next day not knowing where I was until I saw the house.
I've done many stupid things while binge drinking. I've done the normal things that any drunk person does, like falling over and stuff. But the worst thing that I've done is ending up in hospital because I sat in a bush full of broken glass and slipped my leg open. The injury was quite serious. I had to have part of my leg cut out and stretched together, and I had to have stitches, about 20 stitches in my leg for 2 weeks, and I couldn't walk.
Binge drinking regularly puts stress on the liver and can lead to alcoholic liver disease, including alcoholic hepatitis and liver cirrhosis. Regular binge drinking can lead to disrupted sleep patterns, tiredness, mood swings, and difficulty concentrating, as well as depression, anxiety, and other mental health problems, including an increased risk of suicide.
Obviously, it's all alcohol related, and they need to. Obviously, when people drink too much, they tend to just lose all sense of ability of what they're doing and just go mad, basically.
Most binge drinkers believe that they're not classed as alcoholics. They're not in danger. This is certainly not the case. In fact, chronic heavy drinkers have the highest risk of alcohol-related injuries. It's the moderate drinkers who sometimes drink heavily who are more likely to suffer injuries, especially while they're drinking.
I do know mainly about the consequences of binge drinking and what it can do to my health, but I've just turned 18, so I don't plan on changing anything like that at the moment, but I know in the future that I have to stop.
One thing's for certain, the current price of alcohol, the peer pressure that comes with socialising, and the lack of warning regarding the dangers of overindulging in alcohol mean that binge drinking will not be an easy habit for Britain to break. Given the risks and the examples of the dangers of binge drinking, we must ask ourselves, is it worth it?